In 2001, space station Silicon Valley disappeared. 900 years later, it returns. Discover the mysteries of space station Silicon Valley. The first game designed exclusively for Nintendo 64 is available now. Be the first.
Bomb.
We can keep dancing. We can keep dancing.
Yeah.
Welcome to Remember 64, where this week we're saving animals in space. Sort of. Kind of. Maybe. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Hello if you're a returning listener or viewer, and welcome if this is your first time joining us. And of course, welcome to everyone that is in the chat watching this live stream and recording of Remember 64, a rare one, but something that I think we're going to try and continue because this has been a lot of fun. We've had a pretty good showing the last little bit, but my name, of course, is David Petrangelo, and I'm a robotic Frankenstein terrorizing Silicon Valley. Ha ha ha! Take that, Apple, Meta, and OpenAI. Oh, wrong Silicon Valley. Sorry. Oh, also here on Remember 64, we play and discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between in the Nintendo 64's library. Here we are live, and I've already screwed things up. Jiggylookback. Hello.
Hello, I'm here, and I don't want to spoil the ending so much, but I'm gonna spoil the ending here right at the beginning and just be
Please.
like, what if AI was controlled by just one big brain? And it's like not a computer chip, but like a literal brain.
Literal giant brain.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
It would be crazy.
That would be
And
crazy.
more interesting, I think.
Yeah, and then it's like, what were the intentions of AI in the beginning? Like, I
That's
don't
right.
know.
That's
AI's
right.
got some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
It's an interesting time, and this is an interesting time to be playing a game like this, I would say, in a way. But Space Station Silicon Valley is what we're playing this week. This is something that has been requested a few times, and more specifically by Jiggylookback's cat that is currently in the stream right now.
She will not leave me alone.
That's fine. That's
She's
all
like,
good.
stream starts. I'm gonna jump on your lap.
Let's go. Purr away.
Perfect.
The more the merrier. But Tim has been one of the people that has chimed in over the course of probably like the last year, I would say, on and off, saying, "Hey, Space Station Silicon Valley, come back and play that. That's a good one. That's a good one." And always saying, like, you know what? Yes, I need to get it because I personally have never played it. I knew we were talking about this when we ended our last episode recording that I didn't even know what kind of game this was. I just knew roughly what it looked like. That was it. Like is it like a platformer? Is it a puzzle game? Is it, I don't know,
Yes.
a short, like it just, yes. Yeah. Actually,
Yes.
yes to both of those. Yeah. But you know, I really didn't know. It sort of seems like one of those cult classics or hidden gems, like definitely one of those that I've talked about over the years from the show, saying it just was nothing that was on my radar at the time. So I just knew nothing about it. It's more just through talking to people like Jiggy and hearing from Tim and other people that have chimed in saying that this is a game that we should play and talk about. So here we are, Space Station Silicon Valley. We'll get to that in just a sec. I do want to make sure because I forget to sort of plug it sometimes, and I should, but voicecast.app is a great way to be involved with the show and give us your opinion on games we've played, are playing, things you want us to cover on the show, whatever. There's basically a voicemail app is what it is. So you can go and chime in and you can leave a message that is, I think 2 minutes or less, I think is the max. Maybe it's 5. Can't remember exactly.
I feel like it was longer than 2, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it actually goes up to 5 is what it is. But that's two's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the reason why I sort of encourage it is because it's a great way to hear from the audience and from viewers and everything. And we've had a few over the last little bit. One of them specifically is Paul from Remnant Controllers, who's in the chat again this evening and in the stream this evening. But when I put the call out to say, like, what do people think of the Castlevania games, which we did recently in our spooky season October coverage of games. And Paul had something to say about that. So I'm going to pull up his message, and this will be his opinion on the Castlevania games, because why not? What do we got? Here we go.
I played through Cornell's campaign in Legacy of Darkness over the summer. Gothic vibe, great fit for this time of year. The soundtrack is nice. It complements the visual style well. On the visuals, they leaned into the realistic approach at a time it was awkward to do so. So, not the best looking game on the 64, not the worst. Controls were manageable, though I think anybody without some N64 controller experience is going to struggle to grasp the scheme at first. So don't give up. Maybe try using a different controller. The platforming I enjoyed more than I thought I would. Felt great every time I thought I was about to fall to my death, and Cornell would pull off a nice fringe ledge mount. So much praise to his upper body strength. He saved the day. Lastly, I wanted to mention what's going on with Mary Oldry. I want to stay here with my vampire husband, so can you go save my kid? That woman needed to get a grip. I love the show, y'all. Keep the episodes coming.
Amazing. So there you go. So that's hearing from
He's
our
totally
audience,
right.
hearing from fans. Yeah, 100%.
Get a
Like a
grip.
lot of those things we
Man.
talked about, and we were just like, yeah, no, that's especially that ledge grab, right?
Yeah, I love that ledge grab. Surprisingly reliable.
Yeah, well, it's true. I think that surprised us too when we talked about it. So, yeah, no, it's good to hear from people, and good to sort of have people that have, get a grip, Mary. That's right, Paul. It's good to hear what people have, and when people have experience, especially for me, when, like I said, there's a lot of these games that I just knew nothing about or knew very little of until going in, and knowing that people had experience, have enjoyed it, all those types of things. I love hearing about that stuff. So, again, that's an episode in a game, or a couple of games that we already covered. But if you have something you want to add and chime in, play it on future episodes and all that, all good. Or if you got to it later or something like that. So voicecast.app/remember64 is where you can find that. And of course, Remember 64 show across social media, right here on YouTube, where we're streaming live. Give us a follow, and tell your friends, and thumbs up and subscribe and all those types of things. Yeah. And of course, with Jiggylookback as well, because he's doing awesome stuff over there. One last thing before we get to Space Station Silicon Valley. How's Perfect Dark going, buddy? Speaking of YouTube.
I think I'm going to finish it this Friday.
Very nice.
Plus bonus missions. I actually beat the attack ship, which is like probably the hardest level in the game. I don't know.
Jeez.
One of the like top 3 for sure.
Wild.
Yeah, it took a while, but we're on the last mission, and I felt like if I pushed last stream, I would have been able to beat it, but when I'm streaming for like 4 hours or 5 hours, I'm like, all right, I'm getting sleepy. Like,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's intense too. It's not like you're doing something that is like, you got to pay attention because of the way that the game changes and how hard it is at the time,
right,
and all that stuff, right? So that's a huge part.
It's going great though. Like,
yeah,
so close. Like I was through more than half of that mission already. So
okay.
Next Friday, like, it's going to be it. We're going to do some of the bonus missions just for funsies. And that's going to be a wrap on Perfect Dark for me for pretty much the rest of my life. I'm just kidding.
Every time I ask you about it, I'm like, oh, it's been this long. It's been this long. And it just keeps taking long. It's difficult. I honestly, I praise your dedication and your skill to get it done. So
I'm nothing if not persistent and annoying. And that game is going to know just how annoying.
Just how annoying.
I will not quit.
That's right. So that's Jiggylookback on YouTube and on social media as well. Okay, sir, let's get to it. We go into this game. You had experience playing this.
Of course I did.
Of course you did. Because it's a hidden gem. And it was definitely one of those things your dad brought home from a garage sale,
yes.
I assume. So there you go. Okay.
Yep. It is. This is yet another one of the games that I acquired from the movie rental store situation closing out.
Okay.
This is one of those. Fun fact, I actually should, if I have the image somewhere, I found an image that had a good portion of the actual like boxes that I got the games on.
Oh.
So like I found a bunch of them at my mom's. I don't think it was all of them, but it was like maybe like 15 games or so. And I had the box like the like rental cases,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
said like what games they were: Atomic Trouble, Silicon Valley. I think Hot Wheels was one of them.
Right.
Iggy's, Wrecking Balls. Like it was like Glover was in there.
Nice.
And the place I discovered, like fun fact, the place was called Mega Video.
Mega Video.
Mega
Nice.
Video, which sounds dope as heck.
It's just I love those sort of, smaller privately owned mom and pop shop type video. We had a couple here too
Yeah.
that were the same. We never had, well, we did eventually, but for the longest time there wasn't enough people in the area that I grew up to even have something like a Blockbuster. So it would be a couple
Yeah.
of like mom and pop shops in the area, and like that was it. And Blockbuster actually was never as big in Canada as it was in the States, so there's that too. But there's definitely a handful of them as I got older, for sure. And then they eventually, I think once they started expanding in Canada, they died shortly after. So you can blame us if you want.
I will.
Definitely not Netflix.
I think we still have one floating around. I think it's still like alive. There's like one.
There's
that's
one
like
left, I
independently
think.
owned.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it is, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, Space Station Silicon Valley. Yeah, I
Yeah.
played the crap out of this when I was a kid. It's actually, dare I say, one of my favorite N64 games
Ooh.
because it's just so silly, outlandish, and fun. Like it's just fun. It's so bizarre, and I did not know a single person that had this game growing up aside from me. Like no one even knew about this game. I would share it with people growing up because I just happened to acquire it from this random rental store closing out. And
Right.
hey, look at this. I mean, you're playing as a sheep floating in the air like a little cloud, and like
I love how it
it's
acts like a
incredible.
cloud. I love that little touch because it looks like a cloud, like the actual body of it. I was like, oh, this looks like I honestly thought to myself,
Yeah.
this looks like a cloud, and then it moves like a cloud. It's amazing. It's great. This
Yeah,
is like
I
the
would
second
say
or third stage of the whole game, something like that.
yeah,
Very early.
this is the beginning.
Yeah, very
So
early.
I would say the thing I remember most about it growing up was I liked hunting for the different animal types, and specifically the different animals with like mechanical augmentations, because
Right.
they will give you like normal-ish animals, but then there's always some variant where it has wheels and it moves super fast, like this mouse, for
The
example.
mouse. Yeah, the mouse is the
Or
first thing I
like
thought of.
yeah, or like there's a bunny with like its ears are basically like a propeller and you can
Yeah.
fly around with it.
Yeah.
Like there's some just bizarre stuff in this game, and if I had to describe it to someone, I don't really know what
I
I'd
don't
say.
know.
I
Yeah.
feel like I've struggled to describe this game because it's like it's a platformer, but it's also like
It's like a light collectathon because there's stuff to collect, but it's not all 100% necessary. Like you don't need to 100% the game, or at least as far as I could tell, you didn't have to. But
it's also got the same appeal to me that a game like Pokemon has, with like
oh,
all the
like
different
collecting them.
creatures and like
Right.
collecting and like hunting for them and stuff.
Right.
So it's kind of this bizarre like middle ground, and it's just, I don't know. We should probably just describe the gameplay because this is probably not making sense to anyone who doesn't know what this game is like.
Well, you're also trying to describe the gameplay, so that's the thing.
Well,
It's
that too,
like
but I mean the premise.
so the premise of it is that
Yes,
how do you
Dave, tell us the premise.
how do you describe the setup of it? Is like
It's like
there's this old space station that was called
yes.
Silicon Valley, like 1,000 years ago or something like that, and it got lost in space, and they thought it was long gone. There was, I don't know, it somehow shows up back in the orbit, something like that. It all sort of happens in the first couple minutes of like an opening thing that they explain it to you.
Yeah.
The characters you play as end up crash landing onto it. I feel like I'm missing something there in the setup. I feel like
So basically it's like this space station shows up after it's gone for, what is it, 100 years or 1,000 years or
I think it's like a crazy amount. It's like 1,000, and even 100's a lot. So whatever. Yeah.
yeah, it was gone for a long time, and then it just
Yeah.
randomly shows back up, and it's like been taken over by all the robotic creatures.
Animals.
They're all robotic. None of them are real. They're all
Yeah.
robotic
Which I didn't
animals.
realize, honestly, going into this. I thought these were all real animals based on screenshots and things
Yeah.
like that. Like I just had no idea. Which
Yeah.
lets them have fun with it, right? So anyways, yeah.
And I think I'm trying to remember, is it on a crash course with Earth or something, or were they just sent to investigate?
I think they were just sent to investigate because there was, what's that group that was going to go find it or something, and then they were lost or something. I don't know. They give you a reason that you're on this space station,
Mhm.
and you're, I guess technically you're this duo. One guy is like the pilot, and the other character is a robot. That
Mhm.
robot falls to pieces when you crash, and you are
Ebo.
basically just its ship or a chip. Sorry, it's chip. So that's whatever the
Yeah, you're like his little
processor
microchip,
or your microchip or whatever. Yeah, looks like a little spider kind of running
his
around, which is kind of cool.
CPU or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something,
It
yeah,
uses your little. Yeah, yeah. It looks like it's like a typical.
like a
If you open up
centipede
any,
or something,
yeah,
like
she just
something
like
like that.
crawls around like a little bug, and you
Yeah,
can essentially possess any of those robotic bodies. So then
yeah,
you're like
and you
going
use their
around.
characteristics and their attributes and things like that
Yeah, and
to
you solve
essentially
puzzles.
solve puzzles and find a way to collect as much like energy and stuff. I think is, I can't remember what they use, the exact word they use, but you have to find ways from switching from one animal to another to another to another in order to accomplish your goal, to collect the right amount of things you need to do and collect the parts for the robot in order to get off the space station, while also capturing animals, the robotic animals that were there in the first place for science, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of,
For
that's
science.
for science. I mean, that's the setup. The gameplay is jumping from animal to animal, robot to robot, and using their different attributes and their different speed and their jumps and their, this is a dog with a rocket on its back, and there's the sheep that floats like a cloud, like Jiggy said before. All these little things that you have to sort of figure out, how do I utilize this in order to complete the 2, 3, sometimes 4 um missions that I have in this particular level. And then you move on to the next one, it gives you another setup. Move on to the next one, it gives you another setup. And you're in different areas of the space station. So there's outdoor, there's snow, there's sort of, I don't know if it's considered underground or sewers. Like there's a whole bunch of
Yep.
different things.
The desert,
And
everything.
yeah, and it just gives them more reason to have fun with different scenarios and different ways to use different types of animals. They all look like familiar animals, but they're all robotic. So they have, some of them have, like Jiggy said, strange attributes and different abilities and stuff like that. So,
Get a
is
rocket
it a puzzle
squirrel.
game? Is it? What's that?
Get a rocket squirrel.
Rocket Squirrel. Yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah.
literally just fly around like crazy.
Yeah. They do some weird things. So like, but also too, like the rat is like one of the early ones you get. And yes, it's a robot, so it has like this really speedy movement or something like that. But if you played a game that was just, you were a regular mouse or a regular rat, you'd expect, oh, I'm this small little thing that's speeding around the level and whatever. It kind of makes sense, like it kind of feels like, yeah, that's what this thing would do, even if it was a real animal. And they just sort of make it more cartoony and just kind of have fun with it and stuff. So um I don't know. That's a really long way of explaining what it is, but it's kind of hard not to.
You have to explain everything, otherwise you understand nothing.
Yeah.
So
I got to tell you, I didn't really understand what the hell was going on at first. I was like, I crash landed. There's a bunch of stuff happening. I knew what to do, sort of like generally speaking, like, okay, I'm this little chip and I have to go and jump from animal to animal or whatever. And like, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't really hold your hand. It kind of just throws you in it and says, here, just figure it out and whatever.
yep,
And I
yep.
guess that's okay. But um for the first couple levels, as simple as they are, they definitely took me longer than they probably should have. Like, just
I
because of
understand.
that.
I mean, it's also like exploring, and like it has a big emphasis on exploring and like creativity, which I think is a
Yeah.
good like
Yeah, that's
strong
true.
aspect of this game.
Yeah.
Um, can I just ask you blindly, did you have a
Yeah.
favorite animal of what you played? I don't know how far you got in the game, but
I almost 100% completed it, like, or at least play
nice.
almost played every level. I can't
It's
remember
that kind of
which
game
it
because
is.
it's
Yeah. So like,
fun.
started playing it a couple weeks ago, very much almost like the next day after we recorded our Castlevania episode. 'Cause I was like, I don't know how long this game is. I don't even know what the fuck this game is. Like, I was just like, I gotta jump, and I didn't want you to tell me either. I was like, I just want to figure it out. And then you kind of get it in the first first half hour for sure. Also, this particular rabbit, while it's not my favorite, the way that the rabbit acts is you can't walk forward. You literally have to jump and hop the entire time. And as annoying as that kind of is, I just love that that's the attitude and the approach that they took with it, because they could just make it a rabbit that walks around and has a really high jump, makes this boing sound every time you do it. But no, instead, just to move a foot, you have to hop.
Yep, 100%.
And I like that stuff. So did I have a favorite? Is it a bear? Yeah, the bear was kind of cool. I actually like the simple ones, honestly, maybe because I didn't have to think too much. So like the penguin, I think in this level there's a penguin. The penguin's cool. You just kind of run around and just throw snowballs,
Oh yeah.
so that was kind of fun. And I think it was the bear that I liked. The dog and the wolf and stuff, they're kind of the same to me. I didn't feel
Yeah.
like a massive difference. They're basically the same. The reason why I kind of like the penguin is more for like ease of use of some of the levels that it's in, because a lot of pretty much all the time, if you want to possess or take over that particular animal, you have to find a way to knock it out. So you kind of have to like disable it, not kill it, but disable it, so that you can hop out of the current animal into the other one. And sometimes some of the enemies or other robots that you have to knock out are a little overpowered compared to what you're currently using. And with the penguin, I could stay at a little bit of a distance and just spam the snowball button quite a bit. So it made that part of that mission a little bit easier. So that part of it was kind of good. And I think this actually might be the one level I was thinking of at first. I think this might be the first or second time you use it, but that was one of them. Yeah. That one and the bear was kind of cool. What about you? Did you have a favorite, or did it change this time, is my part of my question too?
Well, I like the kangaroo.
Oh yeah, the kangaroo. Yeah. That's actually, that's what I was
Kangaroo's
trying to
pretty
remember. Yeah.
cool.
Kangaroo's cool.
I also like, I think he's a turtle. He's like a tank. He's like a turtle.
Yeah,
And
I
he
would
moves
say
like
that's a
super
turtle. Yeah.
fast.
It doesn't quite look like a turtle, which is kind of funny. It kind of looks
I
like
think it's supposed to be a turtle,
it
but
is, I think. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I mean, I
it's
think that every
green.
time you possess an animal, they give you like a different description or whatever, right?
So
But
that's what we should point out before we even describing these, is like, even if you're not sure what each one does, it gives you stats on every robot that you possess. So it's like, oh, this is ability 1, this is ability 2, and then it gives you like funny little things. This is how much it weighs, and this is like little things like that don't really make a huge difference. So when you go into it, you can kind of have a general sense of like, oh, okay, the penguin throws a snowball, the rabbit jumps high, the what's it called, the sheep floats. Like, okay, I kind of get it. And then you can play around with it. It lets you sort of mess around a little bit and stuff. Anyways, you're
and
saying
then
the
you have
kangaroo.
like the variant of I would feel like every animal basically has like a base form, and then it has like an augmented counterpart, almost like they've been experimented on, right?
Yeah, that's actually pretty much what it probably is, right? That's what they're going for, I
It's
think.
like the penguin was like a normal penguin, and it throws
Yeah.
snowballs. But
Yeah.
then it's got like the king variant, where I think it has rocket blasters in its butt.
Yeah,
And
that's
just
what
like
it is.
flies
Yeah, just
for just
so
no
silly.
reason. It's amazing. That one's
Yeah,
cool too.
yeah,
Oh,
and then
you know what? It's really
yeah.
cool. I don't like how slow it is, but I liked the idea of it. Like early mission Rat King,
Oh yeah,
because I like that you basically like go to the other rats, and they just like start following you like a little
following you.
posse,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
feel like you're just like a little gang of rats,
yeah. Because
and
it
you
looks kind of
go,
cool. It's not something that you
yeah,
get up
it's
to
like
that point.
yeah, it's like
You're kind of
cinematic
flying
down a
solo.
tunnel, and they're all like with you,
Yeah, yeah,
and you're
yeah.
just
That's
like,
right.
let's go mess up those squirrels or
Yeah,
whatever they are. Like, it's
start the
awesome.
war. Like,
And they just go out and they just attack everything. It's
yeah,
awesome.
that's right. Yeah, that, which is kind of funny because it's not like a mechanic that you have really even come close to doing up until that point. A lot of it's like a solo venture where you're like, okay, jump from this to this to this, solve this puzzle. Okay, I got the sheep. Oh, now I got the rabbit. Now I got the wolf. Now I got and then it's that, and you're like, whoa, all right, let's
Right?
do this.
Right?
We're part of a team. I didn't realize.
It's just such a bizarre concept of a game, and I just love the variety. Like that's like a huge draw. Is there's just the crazy variety Like, oh, there's the rabbit with the copter.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah, and then,
legit.
the rabbit ability where he just like he's like basically Thumper, like he just keeps
Yes, he's
hitting the
Thumper.
ground. Love that. That's awesome. So here's sort of a little bit of my journey. The variety is what kept me going with this for sure. I think the way that it plays and controls, sometimes I was like, this feels not as smooth or not as tight as I wanted it to be. Um, it's hard to pull off. There's a decent amount going on here. They're trying to create all these different scenarios, and there's like, the other, like this, for example, that we're watching, the rabbit sort of dropping the bombs while he's flying and stuff. There's a lot of things you have to sort of use and figure out and stuff. So like the controls felt a little too floaty to me sometimes, but I think they sort of focused on other things and not necessarily things being really tight or whatever. And that's totally fine. So at first I was a little worried. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like how this jives with me, or if I'm going to have a good time sort of doing the platforming stuff or whatever. But then I just kept wanting to just use as many different robots and abilities and things as possible, that I didn't really care about the small, very, very, like, honestly, like that point, sort of nitpicky things. And I just wanted to keep going and see what they did next. Because like you said, there's sort of the variance and stuff too, which adds to it. It's not like, oh, the rabbit shows up again five levels later, it's the same one. No, it's now it's a helicopter and a bomber.
That's right.
Great, cool. That's awesome.
You never know what to expect.
Exactly, yeah. And one of the things that I also really liked about it is, yeah, it's a little bit blocky because of just the polygons and sort of just the way that these games are made at this time. But I like that, and this is something that I noticed even before I looked it up. But to me, it looks like they're going for like a claymation type of look. So I don't know if you have ever, I mean, you know what claymation is, but have you watched like Wallace and Gromit, or know what
Of
Wallace and
course.
Gromit? Yeah, that's what their inspiration was, and that's the first thing I thought of.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's so good. Wallace and Gromit. I remember watching Wallace and Gromit when I was a kid before even knowing what it was. Like just
Okay.
like
There's
it's
I'm gonna say two things.
yeah.
One, there's a really good video out there. I don't know who makes it, but I've watched it and it popped up on my feed, and I kind of want to watch it again
Yeah.
just because I don't remember it. But it's something like Wallace and Gromit was terrifying, and it's like, yeah, claymation, like old claymation, like that is totally terrifying.
Yeah.
Like very uncanny valley, like scary.
And like weird body types and shapes and things. Like
Yeah.
they're not going for realism, but there's aspects of it, like you said, Uncanny Valley for sure. I could see that.
That being said, do you know who Millie Bobby Brown is from
Yes.
Stranger Things?
Yeah.
She had there's a video, I think it's for Lad Bible, where she's eating like a carrot or something, and she's talking about how she didn't like to peel it, like she always would just like eat the outside, right?
Yep.
And she says something like, the dirtier the better, and she's like, the dirtier the better, and she smiles, and it looks just like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. And so people like just like flip the screen over to like Wallace, and he's like,
Yeah.
and
It's
it
just
looks
like it.
it's like she has the exact same smile. It's so funny. Like, it cracks
I could
me
see it.
up.
I'm gonna look it up. I could picture it though, for
She's
sure.
so freaking funny. The dirtier the better. And then it pops to Wallace. It's like the same face.
I'm team her, by the way, where I don't need to peel carrots, and just I'll give it a rinse. I don't need to have dirt on it, but like
I'll give it
I
a
don't
rinse.
just I got a little rinse or two.
Right out of the garden.
I'm not gonna pull it right out of the ground and then eat it, but I don't need to peel a carrot. I'm also someone who like doesn't like baby carrots. I think they're weird and gross.
Yeah, baby carrots are kind of like, oh, great baby
It
carrots.
they taste like water. Like, why am I eating this?
Yeah,
Tastes like
I'm not a
nothing.
big carrot person, but if I was gonna do it, I would raw dog it.
Yep.
On big one.
Right. Sure. Hey, to each their own. Hey, if that's,
you know what I meant.
If that gets you to eat your vegetables, I'm not going to stop you. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
That was like one of those, like,
the parent in me says, "Hey, at least you ate your vegetables."
Yeah, right. All right, cool.
But yeah, no, I love carrots. Carrots are great. I love carrots, but it has to be like a carrot, not a baby. Like baby carrots they're weird. They don't feel
Yeah.
natural. Like they don't taste natural to me. It doesn't taste like a carrot. It
Yeah.
just tastes like something crunchy. If a crunchy thing had no flavor, that's
Yeah, like how
that's.
disappointing would it be if that's your crop? Like, I want to
But
pull out a
it,
giant carrot from the ground.
and then this
You
little,
pull out this like big stem and like this little itty bitty little thing.
but like it feels like a baby carrot isn't even natural.
I don't even know how baby carrots are. They like just really small carrots, or
I
do they
think they're
like
just
cut up
really
big
they're
carrots?
really shaved back so that they can make multiple carrots out of like multiple baby carrots out of one little
Mm.
thing. I can look it up and we can look into it right now. How are baby carrots made? Um, maybe there's somewhere on the space station. There's a little thing that tells us.
There's a big
Um,
carrot, and then there's the king carrot, and then
the
there's
king
the
carrot that that all the baby carrots follow.
right, and then there's the giant tank carrot with a rocket on its back.
And then the medium sized one that has the propeller up top.
Yes,
That's
yes,
the
exactly.
yeah, of
That's
course.
tonic trouble territory we're getting into
Oh,
now.
that's exactly what I was. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Which
Oh
again,
man,
game I have very very little experience with. On the list, everyone, just like everything else. So you've liked this. Do you remember sort of like completing this when you were younger? Like, did you go through the whole thing? I assume it feels like one of those games that could be like this is a good game for a younger generation too, or someone who's kind of
yes,
learning how to do puzzlers or 3D platformers and stuff, because it's not overly difficult, but it's not holding your hand either.
yeah. I think I'm gonna actually show this one to my nephew because
mm,
exactly what you just said. But I also think it's one that could keep him like really engaged because the variety is just like so crazy. Like it's
yeah.
just constantly changing and not the same thing over and over.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely I did finish it when I was a kid. I don't know if I did it like I've definitely played every mission, but I
Right.
don't know if I
Right.
did it legally or if I like entered a cheat code to unlock everything and then like went through and
Right.
started like I don't know, who knows how I did it as a kid, but I played it a lot. So I'm pretty sure I did every mission because I wanted to find like all the different animals. I
Yeah.
remember
And I
that being a
think,
big deal to me.
yeah, well, and also too, like you could be in the same, I don't know if I can't remember if they call them worlds or biomes. I don't know what they call them, but each one of those sort of series of levels around the sort of like circle that you sort of complete in. None of those, I mean, some of them, they share themes, but none of them are exactly the same either. And you can go back and play them anytime you want to kind of find the rest of the collectibles you didn't get to and things like that. Like there's a lot of reason to go back if you want to collect everything. So the variety in the creatures and the robots, sure, but also in the levels. And I think a lot of the sort of little tasks that you're doing and stuff too are different enough. And they're written in a funny way, which I think, maybe might go over some kids' heads, but like, there's one where there's a couple where you have to like flip a switch on like a big electronic thing or something, right? Which
Mhm.
actually we just sort of saw. But the way they explain it is go check out that weird computer looking thing. Like that's what it says. And I think that's hilarious because it's like, like you're like, oh,
What
what am I
thing?
supposed to do?
Everything.
There's yeah, the thing, the computer thing or the electronic thing. Like that's literally what it says in the description of the task. And I find that to be great. That's just, great sort of. I mean, I say Wallace and Gromit. One of the reasons why is because when I was looking up sort of development for the game, is they were going for like a very British humor, which is exactly what that is, sort of a dry
Mhm.
humor
Mhm.
that was very different compared to other games around this time or of this genre. And I think that part they definitely nailed based on the way it looks and based on the way it's written and things like that, which is great. So
Yeah, I can't really speak for PlayStation so much, but certainly for N64, there's not really a game like this. Like this is it. This is the only game like this.
yeah, and it's the only one. Like that's the other. Well, technically, I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this, but there was a sequel technically
I
released
did
for
not know this. What?
released for PlayStation
Of
only
course
in
it was.
Europe.
What?
Yeah, it's apparently called Evo's Space Adventure. Let's see what
Oh,
I got
wait a
it
second.
from.
Is it a sequel or is it a remake of this game?
Oh, I guess technically it's a remake,
I
but
did know about this
yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah. So it says uh low poly PlayStation port. Okay, there you go. I said sequel, but port. That was only released in Europe, despite being on a CD-ROM, and actually is missing some levels, more than half of the frame rate, and uses a completely different soundtrack. And then, according to the Cutting Room Floor, which is a great website to check out if you want to see like unlocked stuff and things like that for old games. At the very least, however, it fixed the 100% completion bug, which apparently on the 64 version you can collect everything, but it never really tells you that you 100% completed it, which
I think
kind of
I
infuriating.
I want to say that it was something else. It was like you couldn't actually collect the last
Oh, is that what it
piece you
was?
needed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something like that. Like you're locked. Like you just can't get it. And but
Like,
there's also like there's a big controversy with the expansion pack, the first version of this game.
right.
If you have the expansion pack, it will not boot past the like intro sequences.
Yeah, it just like crashes the game as if like there's a bug. There's a bug in the game, essentially.
Yep,
That's what
they're
it
like,
is.
we don't know what
Yeah.
to do with all this memory.
Yeah.
And if you put in the normal N64 jumper pack, it works.
It's
But if
fine.
you have the expansion pack, it does not work. And then they made a
Yeah.
revision, and obviously all future ones were compatible with it.
Worked.
It
Yeah.
didn't do anything, it just fixed the bug.
Yeah, the
But
game is the same. It just fixed that particular bug. Tim says you can't collect everything because there's a trophy that you cannot get. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah. Tim says I'm annoyed because I'm at work right now. I know, because you're in a completely different part of the world. me,
Yikes.
me and Jiggy are getting close to bedtime. This guy's in the middle of his workday. So,
Ugh. I'm actually very
um,
excited because there's a holiday this week for me, and for
ooh.
some reason it's on Tuesday,
Oh,
but it means I have to go to work tomorrow, and then I have off the next day, which is kind of
ours is the
nice.
same. Ours is the same. Yeah.
Cool.
Ours is like our Veterans Day. They
Yeah,
call
that's
it
exactly what it is.
it is Veterans Day? Okay, yeah. Ours is Remembrance Day. It's the same thing. So
Nice.
for the same reason, right? So yeah, it's I find that so what's crazy to me about this, about when things like that happen in games of this generation, it seems like it happened a lot with PlayStation and 64, or at least my knowledge or my memory of it over the last several years, that they re-released games.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's the only way you could do it. I understand that. But it just feels like, how would you ever, like, would you go out and have to buy, you have to go out and buy it again? Like, if you bought this game and you
Yeah.
wanted to 100% complete it, the only way to do it is to fully purchase this likely $80 cartridge or whatever it might have been at the time, pretty close to that, I would assume, again, just so you could. But how would you ever know about that unless you were reading the magazines and stuff, which not
Correct.
everybody was? And I don't know, would Nintendo Power be advertising that? Maybe. Would GamePro be doing? Maybe, but you'd have to catch it and be looking for it really to know that difference.
Yeah, unless you
There
went to a game store or something, like
and they
old GameStop, EB Games or something, and they like told you that that happened with this game. Because like I could see like me getting it and like it just wouldn't boot or whatever,
yeah,
and my dad would be like, "Oh, it's defective. It's not working." Or like
we have to
maybe I
return
don't
it.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what you
and
would
then
assume, right? Like,
he would
what else
return
would you
it, get
think?
another, and then it would not work on the same spot and be like, "Okay, this game just doesn't work. What's going on?" And maybe there's a way to, like, how would we dive into that? There
I have honestly, even being older than you, there was no way that finding a different solution to it would ever really exist. It'd be like, oh, this game just sucks and it's broken. That's it.
right?
That would, and thankfully that never happened to me in the games we purchased, but I'm sure it might have happened with some games potentially that, like, if you rented it, you'd be like, okay, I guess, something's wrong with this particular version because it's been rented a million times and something's wrong with it or whatever. I'll just rent something else. I'll bring it back tomorrow and rent something else. That would be the mentality. And it's so wild to me. I know it's just technology and just how things
Yeah.
advance, but now there's a fix for it. And then the only way to do it is to literally print the entire cartridge again, do it all over again. It's an expense and time and effort for the company, for the distributors, for the people that want to or may not want to buy it. Like, it's just a whole mess of stuff. And I just find it's so crazy to me that they even bother to re-release it as part of it. Like,
I mean, that's a pretty big like game-breaking bug though, when you have a
That
but
particular one is, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, like Tim is saying in the chat, like Ocarina of Time re-released to get rid of the Islamic chants in the Fire Temple. And they also
Right.
changed the color of Ganon's blood, which is interesting.
Oh, I don't know if I
Originally,
remember that.
yeah, originally it was red. And then because apparently that's not okay, they made it green, which makes it
Yeah.
okay.
Great.
It's the exact same scene. Everything's just the color's different.
Green.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird
He's not.
times.
You can't mix him up with a real person if his blood's green. Obviously.
Obviously. Wall
The other
Race
thing.
64.
Oh yeah, Wall Race 64. I thought that was great. Like, there's the humor of this game is a huge selling point for me, because even now with more technology and more voice acting, and lots of talent behind writing with bigger teams and all that kind of stuff, um, to pull off humor in games is difficult. It doesn't happen smoothly most of the time,
Right.
even nowadays, right? And they pulled it off with this, I think. Look, is it outrageously funny? No, but it's charming and it's cute and it's fun, and one of those games that just does not take itself seriously. And to
Well,
me, that's a selling point.
I
Like,
think that whole like beginning intro sequence with Evo and
yeah,
I don't remember his name, but the old looking guy, like they basically start like just smacking each other because they're like
yeah,
irritating,
yeah.
and the robot just freaking knocks him out. Just
That's
punches him really hard, and he's like,
fights him right back. Yeah.
he's just like his jaws like knocked, like so funny.
It's
And
it's they treat it like a cartoon, like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon type of thing, dry humor of British humor, like we've mentioned, like all
I'm gonna
those
throw
things
this
exist
intro
here.
up
So
because
yeah,
it's
go to the
so
intro.
freaking
Actually, I want
funny.
to hear it too, because I think like the sort of like weird voice work, if
I'm
you want to call
trying.
it that. I'm trying. Yeah, it's the long play.
So here we go.
Also, good music. I really like the music. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tractor did right. The other thing too with the spaceship that we're looking at right now, I don't know if it still looks like this, but it looks like the old MTV Awards spaceship that we used to have in the trophy. That's what it looks like. I think it was MTV. Oh, Nickelodeon. Sorry, Nickelodeon. That's what it was.
That cracks me up. The robot just goes, "Oh, Dan," and like punches him in the face and just knocks him out.
Just backhands him, like just smack. Oh,
And then a love
Roger.
story between a dog and a sheep.
And then it just kills the dog. Or kills the sheep.
I think it's the sheep, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's the dog first, yeah. She loves me.
Oh no, it is the dog. Roger, no!
Anyways, it's good. Like they set up the humor of it really well. I think. Oh yeah, and then he ejects, and then all the different his body parts go everywhere. Yeah, it's still difficult to pull off good humor in games, and yes, this is all physical humor and stuff, but it works, I think. And that's one of the best parts of the game. So, and it was interesting that after the fact, I looked up when I was looking up sort of who made the game and what they were known for before this. We talked about these guys not too long ago, but is it I remember. Oh, so in the middle of development, so before the 64 came out, this was in development in 1995. Then Take-Two bought the team that made this, and what happened was all the same people were making it. They kept it going. This was one of the first games they made, but they also made Body Harvest. So this is sort of when you think about it, and part of when I looked into it was that Body Harvest, we sort of said, or at least I said at the time when we did that earlier this year, sort of felt like a semi-open world, early open world type of game. Yes, there's still segmented levels, but you can do a lot in a big space and move from different vehicle to vehicle to vehicle. That's kind of what you're doing here. The levels are smaller,
Yep.
but
Yep.
you are going into, technically, you could call them different vehicles that have different abilities and different weapons eventually and stuff like that. And you could see the sort of connected tissue between the two games, and how Body Harvest just is a bigger version of this with a larger, world and more, I guess, aggressive vehicles, because they're like, guns and rockets and ships and things like that, more sort of military based or whatever. And I was surprised by Body Harvest. I really liked it, and I was surprised by this. I liked it a lot as well. So this team makes some good stuff. This team makes good
Yeah, it's
stuff.
just bizarre. They just go for it, man. That's
Yeah.
all it is. They just go for it and full send. It's great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's, I don't think this game, like, for me, is like 100% like a home run, but I think it's, if people haven't played it, like I hadn't, you should give it a shot, for sure. You play a couple hours of it and you'll really get a good variety. And that's all it took for me to say, like, hey, I just want to see what other things they're doing, how many more silly ideas they're going to come up with. And that's all I needed personally to want to play more. So
yeah, this made it on my top 10 weird N64 games I loved growing up video.
mhm.
And I just freaking love this game. I don't know. It's fun, it's silly, it's wacky. You could play it for an hour and experience so much variety of gameplay.
Mhm.
Like, everything's locked in the concept of a platformer, but like it's just so weird, man.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love how weird it is.
It's, yeah, you're not really going to play anything like it. You're going to have like shared elements, like I said, even with Body Harvest, even though it's the same team, like a little bit of the collectathon thing, like I mentioned, but nothing, it's still not that game. Like, we had a hard time describing it a little while ago because it's hard to equate this to anything else. It's hard to say, hey, this feels like this game. 3D, it feels like a 3D platformer with some puzzle elements, but that's kind of it. That might be familiar, like,
Yeah, it feels like it's a game where they created a concept where they could basically craft every level the way they wanted to, and they weren't like locked in a format.
right. That's a good point. Yeah, it does kind of feel like they had this idea, they let them go for it, and then they said, oh, we're going to go for it.
Yeah, it's like not one idea, but they found a way to make the like 20,000 ideas cohesive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I just dig that. I love it. It's just so creative. I've never played another game like it. And I honestly think it plays pretty well still.
It
Even going
does.
back to
Yeah.
it, I'm like, it's pretty solid.
Yeah,
It's got
it
its
does.
quirky, like, early 3D stuff going on, but that's pretty par for the course. I think if you're used to 64 games, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not going to be out of place.
Most of these games, like, this is still technically somewhat early. I mean, well, actually, it's kind of right in the middle, 98. So, um, I think there's aspects of this that could be a little sharper and stuff, but it's nothing that would ever deter me from continuing to play it, or telling people, like, watch out for this. This is like the worst part of the game. There's nothing like that here that I would really set any kind of warning bells or anything for anybody. I think you got to go in and just have fun with it and just expect to have random shit happen. Honestly, like,
Yeah,
it's a game of random ideas, like you said, like 20,000 different ideas that, for the most part, I would say just all come together in a weird wacky game. Like that's a good way to put it. Like weird wacky puzzle platformer.
Weird,
That's
wacky puzzle platformer. There it
yeah.
is.
That's the name of the game. That's Silicon Valley.
Horror. No, I'm just kidding.
The humanity.
There
It's
is no humanity.
very, very, very difficult to describe, but simple enough to play, I think. So I think that's also a good selling point for it too, is that you don't have to think too hard. You just have to sort of mess around with things. It allows you to do that. There's no clock to tell you, hey, you got to make sure you finish this in a certain time. Like you can just explore these little levels, and none of them feel too big. I thought was a good thing. So I think the level design is kind of good, because you could very easily see a game like this. Like if you took, I mean, Body Harvest at some points felt a little too big. It felt like you were wandering or backtracking a
Yep,
little too much
100%.
and stuff. I think you mentioned that even more than I did, and it's true. That is a lot of it. It is a faster game, so you're going around in big ships or tanks or vehicles or whatever. But this doesn't have any of that. Here's this self-contained part of this ship with a bunch of robotic animals in it. Figure out how to use them to your advantage. That's what they did, and with a bunch of weird different ideas to make that happen.
100%. I think it actually it works out better to have, I don't know how many levels are in this game, probably like 70 maybe, I don't know.
No, it's not quite. I mean, well, it's quite a bit actually. I would say probably at least. I was going to say 40,
50,
but I'm going to check.
40,
I'm going to check
50.
now. Yeah, it's a decent amount. A few dozen for sure. Yeah.
I think like each section, you're probably right with 40. It's probably each section has like 10 levels, like each environment.
Roughly that. Yeah.
Because you've
I'm just
got
gonna...
the base like sort of field environment,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got the winter area, and then you've got the jungle, and you've got a desert.
Yeah.
Right? And all those ecosystems are really fun to explore and get different animals, and you get different animals according to the environments. So it's really fun.
Yeah, they're not completely randomized or whatever. You're not going to do that. Oh, I'm looking at speed runs too. Oh, geez. I was
Right.
trying to look at how
And
many
like
levels there are. But
having a bunch of smaller scale levels
mm-hmm.
aids in that like variety of gameplay, because you never get stuck on anything for too long.
That's right. That's a good way to put it too. Yeah, exactly. It's just enough to want for you to push forward, and it's also one of those games because of that, because some levels feel longer than others, because you do have to go back to certain animals and certain robots to complete this, and then you jump to that one, then you got to go back to that one, and then you got a little bit of that. I wouldn't call it backtracking, but there is a little bit of sort of planning of where you need things to go and how to jump from one to the other, but none of it really feels too long, and you could just play one level and you get a variety even in that one level. And that's not something you can get with a lot of these types of games and stages and stuff. One of the last things I want to mention is I'm a little disappointed in myself that I did not get a chance to do my homework like I normally do. I didn't get a chance to play the Game Boy Color version of this. I really wanted to try it, because that's what I always do with these games. Is I try
I've
and
never played it.
yeah,
I don't think I've even seen it.
I saw. I'll see if I can pull it up here so we can sort of get a little bit of like a video of it. Oh, that was loud in my ear. Ouch. It's like a 2D platformer type thing, so it doesn't look like it feels quite as, not deep, but quite as
Original.
like as this, because you kind of can't when it's just 2D. So there's that. Let's see if it.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, look at that. A little dog running around. It's all right. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's Game Boy Color. It's early Game Boy days. It's just sort
Can
of
you can you skip
simple
ahead? Is there like
platforming. Let's see.
I want to see like other animals and what it does.
What is this? Oh, those are hearts. Oh, okay. Oh, little
Oh
dude's
my gosh,
crying.
little
Okay, let's go.
cutscenes, sprite cutscenes.
Dog. Are you always the dog? Oh no, there's the
No,
sheep.
there's the sheep.
Okay. Okay, sheep is just chilling. Race like a rat. Okay, so this is also from the 64 game. So you're racing
That's
as a
cool.
rat. Yeah, that's kind of cool. The
So it does
dog.
follows it pretty like structurally like the same, but
Yeah.
Every level, you probably just get a different creature to play as.
And there's probably
What it
not
kinda
as
looks
many.
like.
There's no way there's going to be as many because
Yeah.
there's like
No.
100 creatures in this thing. So, yeah, so it's there. It exists.
Oh, look, I
There's
got my
that.
little turtle guy. Look at him go.
Oh wait.
And I forgot about the motorcycle hyenas. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like a chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turtle is great. I actually did like that.
This is one of the levels I like vividly remembered.
Yeah, with the lava and stuff. Yeah.
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 Dope.
So Space Station Silicon Valley still holds up as one of the ones you really enjoy, Jiggy. I am happy that we got to play it finally. And I was pleasantly surprised. I got a little worried at first, like I said, and I was like, I don't know. And then they just charmed my pants off. My pants
Exactly.
just flew right off. With you know what? Like I'm a huge fan. I grew up a lot, and like many people, around our age at least, really grew up watching a ton of like Looney Tunes, for example.
Yeah.
I used to watch that before school, after school. Then there'd be Inspector Gadget. Like those were like my go-tos. If it wasn't Ninja Turtles or Batman, like that was it. It was those groups of shows. And this kind of feels like you're kind of playing like a Looney Tunes game in a way, without that
Yeah.
property. And if that's your jam, just give it a shot. I think it's worth playing. So, yeah, cartoony fun, decent puzzle platforming, and Space Station Silicon Valley, everybody. That's
Space Station Silicon Valley, the game that takes your pants off.
Doesn't charm them off. It just takes them right off.
Just takes your pants off.
Right off. Don't wear this game with pants because you won't find them afterwards.
Yep.
We're warning you, everybody. It steals them. You'll never find them again.
It steals them and your pet too.
And your little dog too.
Yeah, they fly right off, Paul.
Yeah,
they fly right off.
Just boom, they're gone. Okay. Let's say thanks everybody for joining us in the stream and for this episode. I think Tim, thank you for constantly like I say this like I say constantly as if it's a bad thing, but no, it's not a negative. For constantly reminding me that we should be playing this game, that we should cover this game, because it's so not on my radar growing up. I would have probably forgot about it over time, and I really shouldn't have. But it's a good time, and definitely something that I enjoyed, and something that other people should play as well. So Jiggy, I'm assuming this is a thumbs up for me as well.
It's an absolute thumbs up, and I just fast forwarded to the very end of the game.
Oh, which I never saw. Oh,
so yeah, there's the big brain controlling Silicon Valley, and it is on A Crash Course to Earth. I don't know if it's originally on A Crash Course to Earth or if that just happens. I do not remember.
I don't remember exactly.
But it does bring us to the sequence where we have to like destroy all the animals and stuff as our Evo our proper robotic body
fully assembled
of all the pieces we get. It's a nice little send off.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Clank from Ratchet and Clank a little bit. Reminded me of that a little bit. The dog fights. That was the one I was trying to remember. I love that you're literally a plane as a dog, and it's a dog fight. Like, it's just love that. Like that humor alone. That's all I need. I need dad jokes. That's all I need.
It's literally a plane with a dog's face on it.
Yeah.
And you dog fight.
And it's a dog fight. It's great. Yeah. Oh man, I wish I gotta keep going. I want to play this sequence. This looks great.
Oh yeah, laser vision.
Yeah. Holy shit! Look at this.
You got to take out like 50. Oh yeah, 52 must be
50. Oh my god.
Yeah, you just.
It's cool. You're flying around the city, you're jumping and stuff. That's cool. I like this.
Yeah, it's dope.
It almost looks like a Blast Corps thing.
Yeah, it does look like Blast Corps.
It looks just like it. Like a couple of the levels kind of look like this. You're not necessarily blowing up buildings, but you're going around trying to blow stuff up. Like that's funny. I love that.
Save Earth.
You gotta save the Earth, everybody. At least at this time it was worth saving. I don't know about now, but
let it burn.
Let it burn, people. My God. Okay, so we have a couple good games or a couple cool ideas coming up to end off 2025. One of them we're going to try and do sort of Christmassy themed. I know there's not like necessarily a Christmas game per se, but Jiggy came up with a cool idea that we'll sort of, I'll just tease right now before we sort of figure out all the exact details of it. But we'll have a couple fun games coming up to end off the year. And a couple guests as well if we get a chance to. Also, if you're listening to this when this comes out, head on over to the 3DO experience. 3DO experience is a couple of guys. We have both Bill and Thrak who have been on the show before. Thrak joined us for our Banjo-Kazooie GBA games, and Bill's been on for Rocket Robot on Wheels, for example. And we're going to be on their show talking about one of the Sarge's Heroes games, which is also a 64 game, but made by 3DO. So that's going to be something that we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to try and have them on, if it's not right after, soon after, the other Army Men game we're going to have on our show as well. So just check them out. They do great stuff covering the 3DO console and 3DO games and gaming news. So check them out as well. And then our episode there and their episode on our show. So that's going to be coming up before the end of the year as well. But until that time, Jiggylookback on YouTube, Perfect Dark, and any other future plans that aren't Perfect Dark or just not Perfect Dark is the plan?
That's an excellent question.
You don't have to have the answer. I was just curious.
Well, I do have lots of plans.
There you go.
And they kind of got derailed a little bit because I'm doing different plans because companies decided to send me a game, and I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to make a video on that. So I'm like, you know what? I want to make a video on that and then go back, but I've been planning stuff related to Grab by the Ghoulies.
Oh, that's right.
Perfect Dark itself. Hey You Pikachu. Just some bizarre stuff that I wanted to do to branch out maybe a little bit. I mean, I still got my good old rare, but I also want to do some weird stuff.
Hey You Pikachu's weird. I always think it's weird.
Super weird, dude.
I got to find a way to play it when we get to the point of needing to play it. I know it's not.
Yeah, I don't think you can play it without having the microphone attachment.
I don't think I can. I don't even know if there's a way to. There's got to be some sort of mod or ROM out there where I'd be able to play it on my computer, for example. But I don't know.
Yeah.
If any of it's ever reliable, which is completely fair because I can understand why it would be that way. I just hope there is a way, and eventually we'll try.
Yeah, it's a super weird one. I've only played the first couple of missions in it.
Yeah,
but it's you have to plug so you still use the controller for things, but you also you have to plug the microphone into controller port 4, which also just threw me off. I'm like, why not 2? But apparently it's 4.
Okay.
I'm not going to question that or dive into it too much, but yeah, and it actually, I'm not going to say it works super well, but it actually works better than I thought it, because I was going into this expecting it wasn't going to work at all.
Like a mess.
So
yeah.
The fact
that's
that
what I
it
assumed
works
too.
at all is impressive to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Yeah. I'm sure I'd be impressed with the fact that it's functional in any way whatsoever. Right. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's awesome. Remember 64 on social media across the board. And of course, here on YouTube, if you are watching us, thanks for joining. If you are watching this video live or on the VOD, and of course, on your podcast feed, tell your friends, subscribe, pass it around, let everybody know that we're awesome, because of course we are. Rate us, and that helps more people find us. And at consolecreatures.com, also, you can check out the PlayStation Experience, which I was just on as we're sitting here earlier this evening talking PlayStation games. And of course, the Creature Cast, where a whole bunch of new games and reviews and stuff are covered as well. We are part of that family here at Remember 64. And you can support all those shows at coffee.com, KOFI. And just search Console Creatures, and there's monthly subs, there's $1, $2 single donation stuff. All that does is go to everybody on the team, including us here. Remember 64, to make things bigger, better, cooler, smoother, all that kind of stuff. So that's where we're going with this. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us once again. Head to Space Station Silicon Valley. Have a good, fun, goofy time, and we will talk to everybody soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.